The following podcast contains adult language, profound stupidity, hardcore nudity, and drug references. Children should not listen to it. Everyone else, but fucking Olive. Nailed it.
Hey everyone, and welcome to Plotty Time, the podcast where we three gamers discuss video game stories in detail with all the necessary and appropriate backlash. My name is Poppascotch, and with me, as always, is Sir Chump Slap.
Hey.
And on the other side over there, we have Dr. Syintist.
What's going on, 499?
499? Is that a reference to something? That's probably derogatory.
It's a reference to
your
your
pathetic division
level.
score.
Oh, that's low.
I can't believe they show that, like spread that across PSN while you're playing.
I know, you got to turn that off. People know too much.
Yeah, I was trying to get it up to 500 last night and today, but it wasn't happening. I don't know what I got to do. Like, I don't know. Like, you keep getting stuff and the same stuff. You know what? I'm not even going to get into it. We're going to be here all day.
Yeah, right.
So, Chump Slap, tell us what you've been doing with, or I'm sorry, Dr. Scientist. Tell me what you've been doing.
Well, I head off from work this week because I'm between jobs.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I beat Symphony of the Night.
Interesting choice.
Yeah.
Cool.
It was on a new PS4 release. It's no different than the other Symphony of the Nights. And I downloaded Borderlands 2 and started playing that again as a Mechromancer this time. Interesting.
How's that?
Yeah, it's completely different than the way I played it before because I played with the Siren and they play differently.
Okay.
You only played the Siren? You didn't play all of them?
I mean, I played all of them for a little bit, but I played the Siren through the whole entire game. I just played the other ones enough to get the trophies to get the platinum.
Yes.
And I watched the first new Black Mirror.
There's new ones?
Yeah, there's 3 new ones.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
And I watched... What else did I watch? I finished The Twilight Zone and Good Omens. They're all good.
A lot of good stuff going on.
Yeah.
I have every intention to watch The Twilight Zone. I just hadn't got to it yet. Is it good? Is it worth my time? Am I going to like it?
Did you like the old Twilight Zones?
Oh, yeah, big time.
Oh, then you'll like these. They're almost exactly the same.
All right. I think I'm sold.
So, why innovate? Like, if something's already good, right?
Yeah, that's what they do.
But the Black Mirror episode, which one did you see? The video game one?
Yeah, the one with Anthony Mackie.
Yeah, that was pretty nuts, huh?
Yeah, it was weird. I almost felt uncomfortable.
Ooh, I can't wait to watch it.
And, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I liked it. I thought it was good. It really makes you think.
It was really good, but...
But it's one of those Black Mirror episodes where I don't think I'll ever watch it again.
Do you like the pig fucking one?
Right, exactly. I enjoyed it. I thought it was really good. I'm glad it happened, but it doesn't have very good rewatchability for me.
Yeah.
A couple of them do for Black Mirror, but not all of them. But what about you, Chump Slap? What have you been watching? What have you been playing? What have you been getting into? What you been stealing? What's happening?
I downloaded free games this month, so I also was playing some Borderlands, but I was kicking around the pre-sequel first.
What class?
Doppelganger.
The Jack clones thing.
Yeah, the clones of Jack.
I had you pegged for a Berserker, man.
I did the Berserker the first time, so I'm trying something different.
Which one's the Berserker?
I'm sorry, the Gunzerker.
Oh, that's Borderlands 2.
Well, there's a
Weren't we
big guy
talking
in.
about Borderlands 2?
No, he's talking about
I
the
did
pre-sequel.
the pre-sequel. I've been playing.
Oh,
because you get them both.
My bad.
Yeah.
I only played as Wilhelm. I don't know. During the pre-sequel.
Yeah. I also played a little Sonic because that was free. It's not as fun as I remember. Jumping's a lot harder. Like you can't move in midair like I remember being able to.
You couldn't do that in the old Sonic
You couldn't?
either, no.
All right, well.
You just, because every other game you can do that.
Every other game got better at it in this one. Okay. So it's a little tricky.
So what did they do for this? I know very little about it. Did they just reskin the games and like update graphics, or did they just port them over? What happened?
I don't know.
Pretty sure they're fan-made levels.
The first level's like the same.
Yeah, well, it's just remade by the fans, but
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's like different stuff. Like you can jump into different warps and shit
I think
throughout
that
the levels.
some people were making new ones and they just all got together and put them together as a game. And I think Sega eventually just got it and made it for them.
Oh, that's pretty
Or
neat.
whoever publishes it.
Interesting.
I think that's what happened. I could be completely wrong.
Yeah, I think I played 2-3 levels and I was like, I've had enough of this.
I run fast.
Yeah. I couldn't even run fast. It didn't seem like I was running that fast.
Sonic is slower than Mario.
There's no turbo button or nothing. It's weird.
Well, if you want a game that is kind of a reimagining of an older game, but with everything you like about the old stuff in it, you guys should probably try Toe Jam and Earl, because that game's amazing.
It's $20. I guess.
Yeah, once it's on sale, I'll probably pick
if
it
it's
up.
$5, I'll pick it up.
Okay, fair enough. And then we got to do the co-op trophies, obviously.
Hell yeah.
But
What you been watching?
what have I been doing? That's right. I went to the theaters when I was on the road, and I saw the new Godzilla movie.
There's a new one?
What the fuck? I
Yeah, man.
don't know
It just came
anything
out.
that's going on anymore.
I didn't know there was a new one. Who's in it?
Well, you know that there was a Godzilla in 2014, right? With Elizabeth Olsen and Bryan Cranston was in it.
No.
Jesus, guys.
The last one I remember.
I do remember that, yes.
Was
You're
it-
thinking of 2000 Godzilla.
Yeah, that's probably the last one I remember. Matt Broderick.
Yeah, I think so.
Yes, but this is unrelated to that.
Oh,
But it's except for the fact that Godzilla's in it. But it was pretty good. If you're the type of person that sees a massive monster destroying stuff and you're like, yeah, that's what I want to see, you'll have a good time. One of the best movies ever? No, but it was fun seeing all the monsters destroy stuff.
compare it to
Rampage.
Atlantic Rim.
You mean Pacific Rim?
No, the sequel.
The sequel.
No. I missed the sequel.
Did they really call it Atlantic?
I don't remember. But I know there's a sequel after it, but
Just in my mind, Atlantic Rim is like robots on the shores of New Jersey with fucking needles and garbage everywhere. Jagged ass rocks in New England. It's
I was thinking more Caribbean, but if you want to do that.
I'd watch that one.
the shitty Northeast beaches.
That'd be so cool.
Yeah. Oh well, I did that, and I also got a chance to play Blood and Truth. I mentioned it last week, but I actually got a chance to sit down and play it, and it's fucking awesome. Really good.
What is it?
I honestly don't remember what you said about it.
I'm pretty sure last week I was the one that was super hungover and forgot everything. Weren't you guys like normal?
Yeah, it doesn't mean I remembered what you were
Yeah.
talking about. What's this Blood and...
Blood and Truth. I was telling you guys about how when the VR came out, it came with a demo disc called VR Worlds.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Now I remember.
British gangster film
Yeah,
type game.
'cause it
and
doesn't
this
make
is
any
the full
sense to me.
game.
Yes, I got
There
it.
are gangsters in other countries.
So you say.
Where? Name one. Real one.
Britain.
That's a country, yes. But name a gangster from Britain.
Well, in Kane and Lynch, they were Japanese gangsters, so...
Well, yeah, that's in
Yeah, what
it's
about
in
the
Asia.
Yakuza? Like,
I'm talking about Britain. Name a British gangster that's famous.
Bullet-Tooth Tony.
I don't know enough about gangsters to refute that.
Sideshoe Jim. Is one of the worst of them.
What the fuck is a side shoe?
Dude, I could sit here and come up with made-up British gangsters all day.
Tea and Crumpets Tommy.
I think Sideshoe Jim just became my new screen name.
You like that one? That's right off the top of my head.
It's pretty good.
Okay, I just Googled it. We got some real big heavy hitters here.
Ali G.
Freddie Foreman, obviously. Dominic Noonan. The Curtis Warren. And guys, are we gonna sit here and forget about Oni Madden? Like for real?
Okay.
You could have Googled anything and read 4 names off.
I swear I'm Googling gangsters United Kingdom. Did you ever see that movie with what's his name? Tom Hardy, where he plays the gangster, the fighter?
Venom?
What is Bronson?
Pinchot?
No.
No, not Bronson and Pinchot.
Yeah, the Perfect Strangers reboot.
Yeah, they were gangsters. I'd watch it.
No, I never seen Bronson, though.
Oh, the movie's name is Bronson.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, man. But anyway, there are gangsters in other countries.
Yeah, you've seen Snatch.
Right.
I mean, come on.
The documentary Snatch. But I did want to mention
Like
that
Diggs?
there's a scene in Blood and Truth where it's a cut scene, and you got picked up at the airport by your brother, and you're just sitting in his car, and you're having a conversation. You're not really doing anything except fucking around with like the windshield wipers and stuff. But he has a vape.
You didn't have to fuck around with the windshield wipers.
You have to.
No, well, you had to do something. You can like open the glove box, and there's nothing in there. You're like, okay. But he gives you a vape, and you can actually like hit the vape in VR, and it lights up the.
Did it satisfy every craving you had at that moment?
No, I just thought it was adorable.
He threw his VR helmet off and went and took a real vape hit.
In 5 years, people are going to be like, what the fuck is this?
Probably.
But let's get to some video game news. Now, we were bitching last week how it feels like no news comes out, which I think is partially true, but also the fact that we're old and don't keep up with it as much as we used to, probably.
Yeah, probably that, and they don't really release news before E3. They're holding it out.
Yeah, there used to be like big, huge news releases like once a week.
Yeah.
Where it's like a new game or a new studio or they're working on this or something came out, but now it's like 3-4 weeks before something happens.
I know, and there's no attack of the show, so how the fuck do I find this shit out?
Yeah, when am I supposed to go look for this stuff?
Yeah, you think I'm going to like watch YouTube personalities?
Yeah, seriously.
I mean, I did, but it's my birthday. Am I supposed to do that all day?
Oh, shit, it is your birthday. Happy birthday, Syintist.
Happy birthday, Syintist. I got you a shitty game to talk about. But anyway.
I got it for myself, by the way.
Actually, you did. That's right. Sorry. I even fucked that up. But some news. We were talking about last week how the Uncharted movie has Tom Holland and supposedly Bryan Cranston, and it was just a page on IMDb, and, you know, probably never would have happened, but it got announced this week that the film has a release date of December 18th, 2020, which definitely subject to change.
December?
Yeah, like a year and a half.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Damn.
about a year and a half, 18 months, which leads me to believe that they're starting production or have like a start date for production.
They still don't
You know
have
what I mean?
anybody
Like-
listed who's playing. I can't even think of her name now. Elena.
It's a secret.
I don't know. It's not up yet. All we know is that Tom Holland is Nathan Drake. There was no mention of Cranston in the article I read, but he may still be on or not. Doesn't matter. I feel like that's a much better cast than Holland as Drake, but you know, we'll see when it comes out.
On IMDb, it said Chris Pratt was offered to be Nathan Drake, but he declined. He would have been a much better one than Tom Holland.
Well, yeah, he's got too much other shit doing.
Yeah. Good point. Then again, so does Tom Holland. He's in the MCU as well.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
But it's going to be directed by Dan Trachtenberg of 10 Cloverfield Lane fame.
Is that all he's known for?
He's probably got other credits.
Yeah,
and I will check that. You know when he usually jumps to a horror movie with John Goodman in it?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But yeah, you could have stopped there. That's good enough.
Yeah, exactly. Career made. John Goodman was in my flick. Let's see what else he did. He also directed... Ooh, he did an episode of Black Mirror.
Which one?
Playtest.
Oh, that's the one where the guy goes into the game in his VR and he gets a call from his mom.
Yeah, Kurt Russell's kid, Wyatt.
Yes, yes.
Was that Kurt Russell's kid?
Hmm?
Yeah, Wyatt Russell. That's Kurt Russell's kid.
I didn't know he was the guy who acted in that episode.
Well, now I hate that episode.
He was the guy in Goon 2.
Oh! No, I never saw it.
God damn it. All right.
Wow.
I just feel like some days we're not on the same page like this. But that's okay.
Some
so
days.
if we check the Uncharted IMDb page, all we got is Holland and a rumored Bryan Cranston. That's it.
There should be an Oates.
And Oates?
Holland Oates. I don't know it was a stupid joke referencing
Holland.
Come on,
Holland
bro.
Oates from...
Right, that's so bad.
No, it's from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Charlie calls the guy Holland Oates because he doesn't know who the other singer is. And they try and explain to him it's Hall and Oates.
Yes, yes.
It's pretty interesting that Joe Carahan is writing Drake's Uncharted. He wrote a lot of pretty okay action movies. Like he did Smokin' Aces.
Never saw.
He wrote and directed that. He did the A-Team, the new one with
Never saw.
You know.
Nice, yeah.
Jesus, you guys are killing me.
I was saying the A-team. Don't say you guys.
He did. All right, sorry. Fucking science.
I'm a scientist.
He also wrote and directed Narc, which was a legitimate good movie.
Yeah, that was pretty good. All right,
I don't think I saw it.
I'll give him a chance.
Yeah, we'll check it out. So we rolling through even more video game news. Is Borderlands 2 is getting new DLC as a ramp up to 3.
What's it going to be about?
It does have a name. It is the interesting thing while I'm looking up the name for all this bullshit. This is a leak. Like, it leaked onto Steam real quick, and then people took screenshots and stuff like that. But the point is that they said in the Xbox leak that it was going to be out tomorrow.
Ooh.
So they're thinking it's like oh yeah, guess what? New DLC, and you can buy it right now.
Oh yeah, it's probably because we'll give you the game for free. Yeah, and here's the DLC.
Oh yeah, of course they do it that way.
Yeah.
But to give you an idea, it is called Commander Lilith and the Fight for Sanctuary.
Interesting. Because I know the leaks for Borderlands 3 have Sanctuary as you travel between planets.
Right. And the description here, Sanctuary is under siege, the vault's map has been stolen, and toxic gas is poisoning Pandora. Fight new bosses, explore new zones, get new loot, including an entirely new tier beyond Legendary, and join up with Lilith and the Crimson Raiders to take on the deranged villain hell-bent on ruling the planet.
So is it going to be, I wonder if it's going to be like the intro to the villain from 3, like he steals the map.
That's good thinking.
Yeah.
It'll also raise the level cap to 80.
Oh, shit.
Unnecessary. 50 or 2 powered, but...
Well, it's also interesting, too, because it'll allow new players to roll characters at level 30, so they can dive straight into the action.
That's
so
pretty
it can
nice.
just automatically take you to 30.
Yeah, I'll wait to play.
And a tier above Legendary, is it going to be better than Seraphic? I guess it doesn't say.
No, it doesn't say. Just a tier beyond. Maybe something like similar to it, you know?
Yeah, Seraphic weapons weren't really worth it anyway.
It's going to be like Legendary with stars next to it.
Except Typo Negative and Evolution. Those are the only Seraphic things I ever used.
Yeah, I don't recall any of that.
I think I didn't even play the game that long to get those.
Yeah.
You didn't farm Master G and Hyperion the Invincible?
No.
Nope. I did to get all the fucking Seraph crystals to buy. Typo Negative was a transfusion grenade. It was the best one. And Evolution was the best shield. Well, unless you want to do stupid shit like with the bee. But
I definitely took major advantage of the transfusion grenades in all of those games.
They were the best.
yeah, once you get to a high level, there's nothing even worth it except for them.
Yeah.
Unless you get a level 50 bonus package or max level bonus package.
But even then, like, you can't use the bonus package if you're in, like, an enclosed space at all.
No. I've killed myself. I've killed myself.
Kills you.
Probably just as many enemies I killed as myself on that.
Oh, absolutely.
Because I got it when I played Borderlands 2, and it was like the first 5 times I died were from bonus packages.
It's fun to throw them, though.
Yeah.
Like, it's a lot of fun. But it's an outside grenade.
Yeah.
All right, so we also got a little bit more news on the Fallout 76 bag that's finally showing up. Are you guys familiar with this nonsense?
I've heard
Did you hear
about it.
This saga?
Yeah,
Did they send out new ones?
They're finally going to start contacting people this week to send them their new bags.
Oh, wow.
Because you had to, because I bought this edition.
Yeah.
I've never played the game, but I own the $200 Power Armor edition.
Nice.
And they basically, the article came out, everyone was pissed, and Bethesda said they would send in the bullshit nylon bags to get real canvas ones. So you had to like go and submit a ticket to their ticket system. And then I hadn't heard shit for like, I don't know, 5 months? Something like that.
Yeah, it's been a while.
But it's so cheap because they won't send them out to you automatically. They're like, you have to come and claim them, and then we'll send you one.
Makes sense. Why
Well, yeah.
would they just waste all that money?
Yeah. And plus, to make it more convenient for you to even get one. Makes sense to me.
It's not
Running
like
a
Wizards
business.
of the Coast where they just send shit out because
Yeah.
they fucked up an eBay sale.
Well, either way, they're trying to make good on it.
Why don't they make a better game?
Yeah, why can't you just change in the game for a better game?
That's an interesting theoretical question. Do you think anyone would have gave a fuck about the bag if the game was half as good as Fallout 3?
Doubt it.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I mean, you're always going to have one or two people bitch, but overall, I think people would be like, dude, I'm busy wearing this helmet playing this fucking game. It's awesome.
Did it come with a helmet?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not taking this helmet to another goddamn house. I don't need the bag. I'm not going anywhere else. I'm too busy playing this awesome game. Man, parallel universes, right?
It'd be cool.
And the one quick piece of news is Bungie has redone basically their entire roadmap for Destiny 2. I don't know if they redid it or if they just, ended the roadmap and came up with a new one or whatever they're doing. But the point is, there's going to be cross-save between multiple platforms, no exclusive stuff, and they're going to make the base game free to play.
People still play Destiny?
That's what I said, dude.
Yeah, I gave that game up. Feels like years ago.
No, that was Destiny, the first one.
Oh,
Destiny
I gave up 2. Feels like years ago.
I thought they were the same game, but
no, I remember. Didn't we talk about this, Chump Slap? Where it's like we both liked Destiny 2, but it was more of the same shit. Like there's no reason to hang out there.
Once you finish the game, you're like, oh, who cares?
Yeah, exactly. Like I did this in Destiny 1 for an extra year and a half after the game came out.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it again.
Yep.
For something that's essentially exactly the same.
Yeah, to do these fucking half impossible raids with incompetent assholes. Yeah, I'm good on that.
yeah, you actually have to have friends to play the game.
Yeah, I don't even know 7 people. Get the fuck out of here.
Right, exactly. Fuck them. So the other thing we got a big, huge update on was Google Stadia. A lot of information came out. We discussed it when it was announced. It's supposed to be a 100% cloud-based video game console, I guess is what they're calling it, even though it's not physically doesn't matter. It's supposed to come out in November, and you can buy the Founders Edition bundle for $130.
Yeah, I'm still not going to buy it.
Is there a monthly fee or anything? Had they get
Well, first you need better internet.
Yes.
Yeah, I need a more reliable internet if I'm going to be playing something online.
Yeah, because there's no way it's going to work at my place.
Yes, what they're saying, the recommended absolute minimum for 720p, 60 frames per second.
720p? What is this, the 80s?
720p. I know, right?
It's VHS.
Yeah, I know. I'll get my ColecoVision.
You done?
Yeah, go ahead.
So the 1080p HDR video, 60 frame per second, 5.1 surround, that is a recommended minimum of 20 megabits per second. And the best tier 4K 60 frames, 5.1 HDR video they're suggesting a minimum of 35 megabits per second down. And
Can't even come close to
that. Dude, like in cities, you can get packages between like 25 to 100 probably in most major cities. But anyone that's remotely rural is probably lucky if they're getting 20.
I don't even think we're that rural, and we're not even going to come close to that.
Yeah, I don't get it. It seems like...
And I can't watch TV at the same time because I'm going to be using the same bandwidth. It's ridiculous.
Well, first of all, the pro move is 2 living room televisions.
Yeah, but you still need to watch them both through the same internet.
It's still the same cable internet.
Oh, that's a good point. You're saying like you can't stream something while playing.
You can't even look at your phone.
Yeah. I can't accidentally click a GIF on my phone.
Dude, can you imagine like barely sitting up against that megabit line and then you get a text and you just fucking die? You're like, oh, bullshit.
Yeah, I could imagine that happening.
Very easily.
Yeah.
I mean, if they pull it off, it's going to be amazing. But there's a lot of ifs in here.
Yeah, it seems
there's a subscription-based program as well for $10 a month. Gives you the base access, which is like
you can look at the store.
Right, yeah. Like you can look at the store and you can play like offline games and stuff. And then they have a more expensive plan that's basically more in line with like Xbox Live or PS Plus. A couple fun facts. I'll just slam these at you. We'll talk about them. The Division 2 will be there. Stadia Pro is called that's the name of the official service. It will not include all games for the base $10 a month package. Newer games will have to be purchased separately.
So you have to have a minimum of $10 a month to play this.
Yeah.
Sounds like it.
Okay, all right.
But the benefit is that the controller by itself is $70, which seems pretty fucking high. But at the same time, if you already own a Chromecast or you have a browser on your computer, you don't need to buy any hardware. So, good things with the bad.
Let us know how it goes.
If you want to play on a TV, if you want to play on a TV, you need a Chromecast Ultra. Some of the games that are definitely confirmed include Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Doom Eternal,
Derm.
the new Tomb Raider trilogy, Final Fantasy 15, Darksiders, Genesis, Metro Exodus, and there's a whole shitload more. But all those games,
I heard one I'd want to play.
Yeah, who are they marketing towards?
That's a great question.
Rich people in cities.
Like, if you're marketing toward gamers already, you already have Steam, PC games, and you got fucking Xbox and PlayStation. Like, who are they trying to grab?
Those millennials.
I mean, it sounds like they're going to try to pull people from all of those worlds, because you can't...
Yeah, but then...
Anyone who's just like a casual gamer is just dicking around on their phone. They're not going to be like, well, I'd buy a PlayStation, but I don't really have time to use it. I just like dick around on my phone for the commute. Those people aren't buying a Stadia.
But there are people who buy PlayStations for like the Blu-ray player or the other stuff.
Yeah, there are idiots.
To watch Netflix and shit like that.
I don't know. I just think it's going to fail. And then if you do get those people...
I don't want to be friends with them anyway.
Who are you going to try to pull in with games that have been out already for months? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I've had Assassin's Creed Odyssey for 6 months, and I think I bought it 6 months after it came out.
Yeah, it's silly that that's what they're saying. They're like, oh, we have all these old games.
These games you played 2 years ago, play them again.
Hey, you want to play Cubert?
Well, the icing on the cake is reading the extended list. Farming Simulator 19, guys.
Now...
I could play that
Swear to
again.
God, it says that on the list.
Do you need a good video card on your computer to play any of these then?
No, it's all through
It's
a
all
browser.
browser based. Huh.
You just need the internet.
Oh, we'll see about that.
I mean, I think for $130, that's a attractive initial price point. But I mean, I'm in the PlayStation ecosystem. I'm not gonna pop over.
Yeah, you can't transfer your trophies over.
Yeah, you can't even cross-play with people on PlayStation that I know of.
They are... See, it's like a game-by-game thing. Like, because Destiny 2 just announced that they're going to do cross-play with other consoles, which is nice.
Well,
but
not enough people are playing one console to make it interesting.
Yeah.
Right. Like, it's like a year and a half way too late for that news.
Exactly.
But, so, just right out the gate, are you guys pre-ordering this for launch day?
No.
I don't see why would you
Why
pay
would I waste it?
$130 for if there's no hardware or nothing.
And I already pay $80 a month for fucking internet that sucks. I can't even imagine.
I don't get it. Seems silly.
Well, I forgot to mention that the Founders package comes with the Chromecast Ultra, the controller, and I think a certain amount of time of the base package.
Really? Still not sold.
Yeah. Well, that makes sense. That at least that's why it's $100.
Yeah.
But.
Yeah, you need something to like sit on a store shelf if you're gonna pull in Xbox and PlayStation gamers. You know what I mean? Like you need a box.
Yeah. Because it's just gonna be like, oh, here's a controller. Neat.
Yeah, like the nerds like us, people who are supposed to be in the know about this shit, I guess, maybe. I don't know. But we're barely aware of this, you know? Like, we know what's happening. We saw the announcements, but any asshole out there who just wants to pick up something for PlayStation is going to be like, what do you mean there's another console? Is that the one that rapper was working on? I'm not buying that.
Yeah.
And honestly, I forget about it in between times we talk about it anyway.
Yeah.
Right.
You're not, it's going to fail.
It's got to work. Like, that's huge leap that I have never said about any console ever coming out, ever.
Yeah, true.
Like, I'm confident that if I pull the PlayStation 5 out of the box, you know what's going to happen? It's going to fucking fire up and play the game smoothly. Like, that's not even a question. Yeah, you'll have some games that have bugs and other bullshit, but that's game by game. That's the studio's fault. The hardware is going to fucking work.
Yeah, exactly. Well, didn't some PS4s come as bricks when it first dropped?
And there was the Red Ring of Death on Xbox for a while.
Just saying.
But you can swap those out for things that worked.
Yeah.
If you swap the Google, whatever Stadia for another one, it's still not going to work.
Right. Well, man, that was a lot of talking for the news.
Cut it in 2 pieces and use some next week.
Perfect. So let's get to our actual game we're going to talk about. How about it, guys?
Let's do it.
All right.
All right, well, this week... Oh, I forgot a piece of news. I'm going to say it for the end. But all right. This week we are going to do the PlayStation 3 Classic.
Sure.
PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, PC Classic, F.E.A.R., which I've always just said Fear.
Yeah.
There's dots in between them, but it's Fear. That's the game came out originally on October 17th, 2005. It was developed by Monolith Productions and published by, I'm going to guess this word is Vivendi?
Yeah.
Vivendi. Yeah.
Vivendi. It's Italian. Vivendi Universal Games and WB Games as well. It's a FPS action game, platformer, adventure, horror. Well, it's not a platform, a little bit of jumping, but it's a horror game. Written by a guy by the name of Craig Hubbard, who I went to look up his credits here. He wrote a couple of the other Fear games, and we always get into that weird situation where it's like, well, did this guy write the first one and create the characters, and he just automatically gets a credit, you know?
Yeah.
But I think he continued to write the other Fear games, and he also wrote this little game, this indie one. I never even heard of it. It's called The Division 2.
Never heard of it.
The what?
You guys know this one?
No.
Is it anything like the Division 1? Because I heard that sucked.
No, I think it's math. It's just you.
Yeah,
do a bunch
long
of math
division.
games.
Oh, that one. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty neat.
And actually, his old mother is more popular than he is. Chris Hubbard's.
Elron.
Old mother Hubbard.
Oh, okay.
She famously went to a cupboard.
Wow.
I thought Elron Hubbard when I heard it.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know you guys brought your A game today. Jesus. All right, but
To get her
any
dog a bone.
hoodles. There, I did want to mention before we got into it too far. I did a little bit of research forward into the series, and there's some kind of weird timeline split thing I don't really understand.
See,
Well-
that was the first thing that fucking confused me about your notes.
Yeah, there's a.
Well, let's not talk about it, 'cause-
Yeah, there's no weird time zone.
We're just talking about this one.
Yeah, we're just talking about FEAR 1.
You're right. Let's get into it. The second we do Fear 2 Project Origin. How about that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Because I think that's a fair point, because the split doesn't happen until the DLC or expansion games for this game, which we're not going to talk about those anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. Fuck that.
So, any hoodles, moving on. Who picked this? This was you, Dr. Scientist, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
All right, how about you give us a little bit of a lead into this game? Where are we leading up to the start?
Well, it's FEAR, which you didn't say what it stood for. It's First Encounter Assault Recon.
Oh, yes.
I would not have taken that away from you. That was all yours.
I almost couldn't read my notes. And it starts with a guy's in a prison. Well, it kind of looks like a prison.
It's a padded room. Definitely
Yeah.
looks like a padded room.
And some stuff happens, and he gets out and kills a bunch of people. And then it cuts to like a situation room, sort of, for this FEAR unit, which is like a black ops operation. I guess they do supernatural things. First Encounter is what I assume it would be.
Oh, okay.
And then I assume that's what they do. I don't really know for sure.
I thought it was very interesting. They're the First Encounter Assault Recon Team. They're a covert special forces unit, and they seem in the game to work with like Delta Force and like other, I guess, fact-based units.
Yeah.
So I would think the existence of something called FEAR as a unit is at least fairly well known, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we all know who Delta Force is.
But maybe it's a secret one we don't know about.
Yeah, like the
X-Files.
Men in Black X-Files,
Oh, yeah.
yes.
It's a larger conversation. We'll save it for a very special episode. But I believe there are too many people with loose lips to keep something like that under wraps.
I don't know. What's in Area 51?
Yeah.
It's in Nevada.
I thought it was New Mexico.
See? We can't even agree
Maybe
on
it's
that.
both. Maybe
Oh,
it's
they're
both.
throwing false information at us to keep us confused, man.
It's working.
And anyway, we're sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
Just
And they
wanted to add.
is it they say his name's Paxton Fattel?
Fattel, yes.
Is it
Yes.
Paxton?
Yeah.
And that's who
Correct.
I guess was in charge of the uprising at this place.
Yeah, they don't tell you that right away, though.
No,
right?
don't they? I thought they say his name.
Oh,
Right,
yeah. Like, it starts off with just all these people shooting up a place, and then he
Yeah.
just...
But they say he's in charge of the uprising or whatever, leading it.
Yeah, okay. But he's a cannibal?
Well, yeah, they watch him eat people.
Yeah, what's
They
that?
make a joke about nutrition.
Yeah, it's fucking rude.
Did they explain that? Like, was he eating people to like get stronger or take their
No,
living essence? I don't think they did.
He's just
right?
a cannibal, yeah.
Yeah.
From what I understood.
He's just like, oh yeah, I got superpowers, and I eat motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Like cold. I don't cook them up. Like straight up.
Yeah, room temperature. That's got to be gross.
He didn't even eat much
Fucking-
of them. It looked like he was just sucking their blood like a vampire.
Yeah, it's waste, really.
Yeah.
Can at least
Neck
use the
vein
skin.
tartar.
Oh, that's so good. He's gonna get sick.
But
Yeah, that's what he's worried about. Like, I'm gonna get fucking E. coli from this dude's neck.
well, if you have E. coli in your neck, you got a lot to worry about. Oh, I guess you're dead at that point, so it doesn't really matter.
Fuck it.
Look, you know what? You caught me in a lie, Syintist. I'm not up to date on my diseases that can be transmitted by eating people.
Yeah, E. coli.
I'm pretty sure
I'll
E.
do more
coli comes
research.
from shit.
I don't know. It's just people have it. It's bad.
Like it's in your colon.
Well, people could have E. coli, all right?
Yeah, they could.
Yeah, all right.
Maybe he's out there eating buttholes. I don't know.
A lot of people are.
All right, on to the next part. What happened?
We talk about eating buttholes, and all of a sudden, Chump Slap wants to change the subject.
That was just very. A lot of people are. Like, it's a great delivery. Like I'm the asshole. Like that's right. Bunch of people out there eating butt. They love it. So
Who are you to judge?
There's two types of people: people who eat butt and like to get their butt eaten.
that sounds super familiar.
Probably is from Jesus and Marrow.
Probably.
Probably. But either way, good words to live by. Let's go ahead and push forward.
So you go with your unit to this abandoned building to try and capture Fettel.
Yes.
All right, here's my first question already. When you're in this building, you see shit and you like hallucinate, or is the building haunted, or what the fuck is going on?
I think it's Fettel
Fucking with your
telepathically
head?
talking to you.
Is that what it is?
Because he keeps saying, like, you were born here.
Yeah, I thought that maybe that was just you talking to yourself.
I thought it
Well,
was him.
before we jump further, did any of us play this? I don't think I
didn't.
may have played this, but if I did, it was years ago. I don't remember it
I
at all.
played one of the sequels, and I was kind of interested in what the story was before that game.
I know I definitely played 2 and I definitely played 3, but I think I missed the first one. But anyway, so the reason I mention that is because that's definitely a theme in all these games that you have no fucking idea what's going on.
Okay.
And like it feels like there's ghosts or specters or something fucking with you the whole time.
Do other people on your unit see these things, or is it just you?
I think that they experience the supernatural shit, but the way the game set it up was that Paxton was talking to you.
Okay.
So I think when he's talking or when you see some things, it's all in his head.
Yeah, but those things can hurt you, and you have to shoot them.
I think they exist in the real world, but
Okay.
they can only be seen by, well, not everything, most things, I
Yeah.
should say. Because obviously, like, they see the thing attacking the soldiers and turning them into some kind of soup. I don't know what the hell that was all about. And, like, they just left the full skeleton there.
Yeah, it was weird. Just liquidized
But,
them.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's mostly Fettel fucking with you, and it's also Alma, but we'll get to her eventually.
Okay.
All right. So you just walk around and find dead people in this building,
Yeah.
basically. And you walk out onto the roof eventually. I'm not missing anything in here, am I? Because there's a lot of walking around that goes on in this game.
No. Just when you get to the roof, I have.
Yeah, because the story's told through like phone messages and computer hacks, so it's kind of gets lost in where I am in parts.
No, it's confusing. You're right.
Well, you end up on the roof and you're looking around and you see a dead body, I think, and you walk towards it, and then Fettel hits you in the face with a board.
See, now, did that actually happen?
I think so.
Yeah, I thought so too. I wasn't sure though.
Because then he says something about like he deserved to die and blah,
Yeah,
blah,
he just
blah.
goes boom, 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 boom,
Yeah.
boom.
And you're kind of just
Now,
unconscious.
at your point that you're looking at in your notes, is his team member lost yet?
I think so.
I don't think you know yet. I think this is the first time.
Oh, maybe.
Okay. Well, we did kind of also gloss over it, and I just want to mention how ridiculous the accent is on your squad leader. Did you guys, like the fucking guy from Long Island, Rodney Betters is his name?
Oh, better. Yeah.
That guy.
Is that the character's name? Rodney Betters?
Betters, yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
it is.
The guy who's always talking to you.
Yeah.
And they call him Rowdy, so he's Rowdy Roddy.
Oh,
Rowdy Rodney Betters.
that shit's lame.
But there I am. Okay, and then after you realize he's gone, you get called down to the docks, right?
Yeah. Got to send. There's soldiers down there. We got to go to the docks.
Yeah, but he doesn't kill you.
No, he does not.
Interesting.
Oh, we should probably mention your name in this game is Point Man.
Yeah, I was going to say they don't say your real
Yeah,
name, right?
they just call him Point Man.
Yeah, so I guess this is a unit where they make the rookie do the most dangerous possible job on the squad, which I guess makes sense.
And they keep telling him, go ahead, you could do it yourself.
Yeah, you can do it yourself. We'll wait here.
Yeah.
We're an elite force, but
Well, you
you
find-
can do it yourself.
Yeah.
It's like he can. They say that all the time. Like he can handle himself out there.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, dude, you just like interviewed him. Like,
just started working.
Yeah, he
here.
just passed the test to start.
yeah, it takes some time to like feel out your employees and see what they're good at and what they're not good at. And
Well, this is how you test them.
well, good point. It's like, well, we needed him to murder, and he's really good at it. So
You do murder a lot of people in this, but I don't think it's that bad.
No,
good hire on my part.
they're like brainless people, right?
Yeah, they're clones or something. We'll get to that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a whole thing. But anyway, we go to the docks. What happens there?
Well, you see all kinds of spooky images again as they're walking around killing people. And you see one of a little girl that bursts into flames and
turns people into skeletons.
yeah.
I love that moment where they're like, hey, can you go around and unlock the door? And you're like, of course, I have to go by myself. And then you leave and go do it, and you come back, and everyone's just liquid. Like, oh, all right. I guess we're playing for keeps. Shit.
Yeah, I got to work faster next time. And then like she says something. I don't know if she says something, but then like a big explosion happens when you see her.
Yeah, she just like starts coming after you with fire, like
Yeah.
burning up the hallway
And you
towards
get
you. And then you,
thrown out the window.
I thought you jumped.
Oh, I thought it exploded.
Maybe you got blown out. Yeah, I wasn't sure.
Yeah, I think it was exploded out. Or like you were running out and then got exploded out. Something like that.
A half jump, half explosion.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Explosion-aided jump.
Those are the best.
Like every
kind.
action movie we love.
And the rest of your force finds you. I was like, oh, I can't believe you survived that. Go do something else dangerous.
I can't believe you've survived that fall out of a one-story window. What the fuck?
And I love how, like, I did write this specifically in my notes that everyone else is pretty useless in this.
Yeah.
Like, you do everything.
Like they're not even killing people.
No.
They're just standing around.
They're not even getting in, like, firefights.
Yeah.
Basically, they're standing around telling you to do something, or they get shot down in a helicopter. Because that happens, like, 4 times in this game. Like, helicopters getting shot down.
More helicopters shot down than Dino Crisis.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a bold statement. You're going to have to get one of our fans to run those numbers. I'm not doing it.
I don't know. 2 and 2. I think.
Yeah. But then you're tasked with looking around the docks some more. To
Yeah,
find
do you go
these
right
soldiers.
back in the same building?
I think it's another part of the docks, but
Okay.
it's all the same area.
It looked exactly the same.
When
like
I
the
wa-
building you just jumped out of.
When I watched the speed run, they did a lot of like out of bounds stuff to skip all these parts and all these cutscenes. And
Okay. Now, this is also where we should mention, I guess, just briefly, the team you're with. It seems like this is such a covert special forces unit. There's like 4 fucking people in it. Which, Jin Sun Kwan is the Fear team member, the female, who's they do some kind of like
That's your.
allusions to that's your romantic interest,
yeah,
you know.
Yeah. Okay.
I
But
didn't
she's a
get that
badass,
at
so
all.
she's not like
Really?
Yeah,
they tease him like a couple times.
Yeah.
yeah, but I
Like,
thought
oh,
it was
so you
just
can
the
hang out with
rookie.
Point Man?
And like a,
Oh, they're just making fun of the rookie and the one female that they work
Yeah.
with. Oh, that could have been it too.
It could have been, yeah. It could have been just doing that. That's a good point. But there's also Spen Janikowski, who was the bald dude.
sounds like a sexually transmitted disease. Man, I got
Janikowski.
some Spen Janikowski from this dirty stank.
I was riding the subway. I got Spen Janikowski.
Yeah, exactly.
There was liquid on a seat, and there's no other seats. I'm going to sit down on it. It's fine. I'm going right home.
But do you ever see Janikowski?
I don't think so. You
He's
hear
just
about him.
lost right
Yeah.
from this
No,
point.
you see him in the very beginning. when you're getting like the brief, he's there. Everyone's there. Spen, Rowdy, Jin, and you. And they're like, this fucking guy's coming.
Okay.
That's him. And then the only other person, well, you're point man, and then you do run into Douglas Holliday a lot, who is a Delta Force soldier. He'll come into the story eventually, but he's the guy that's dressed different than you.
Okay,
Do any of these? Do they say their names in any point during this game, or is this just stuff you got from the wiki?
Well, Janikowski, they say a bunch because you constantly have a mission parameter to go find him.
Yeah, because the whole game is finding him.
Yes, pretty much. And then Jin, they do mention a bunch because she's in a lot of the cutscenes and it's on the radio. She's always there. But Holiday, I had to look up his name. Well, I just saw him in like 10 straight cutscenes. I'm like, who the fuck is this guy?
Yeah, I just saw his name in the little thing in the corner where it says like this guy's talking to you. It just said Holiday.
Right.
So.
And he's also the guy. I think he first shows up where there's a bomb vest on the one dude. We'll get to it more, but he's the guy that diffuses the bomb vest.
Oh, okay.
Yes, okay.
All right.
That's right.
That's it. But just wanted to mention that. So, we got to keep everybody fully informed.
Yes,
Yeah,
obviously.
I'm not going to remember their names either, so it's not.
But any hoodles. So where do we go? Well, we're still at the docks, right?
Yeah,
we haven't left the docks.
You walk around the docks and you listen to some messages and their vague references to some contamination up in Auburn Hills and the water being bad or something. I don't know exactly what that has to do with anything, but they talk about it a lot in the game.
Because that's from the origin.
Yeah, that's what I mean, but they could have just skipped that part.
Now, am I remembering correctly that Auburn Hills was the site where all of this work was happening?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the original spot.
Icarus, Pegasus, and Origin.
Yeah.
Got ya. So they're doing crazy shit underground. People up top are getting sick.
Yeah.
And
crazy level of
there's all kind of unraveling as time goes on, basically.
You're just listening to voicemails.
Yeah. And some guy's hacking a computer that you touch and then tells you what was on the computer right away.
Oh, yeah.
Which, as we know, is exactly how hacking works.
Yes.
Yeah. Hey, look at this. I found some stuff.
Yeah. The most realistic hacking in any game. But you fight your way through the docks, kill some more guys, see some spooky stuff, and eventually a helicopter picks you up to go to Armachan, I think it is.
I think you're correct.
ATC.
I'm guessing. Because they just refer to it as ATC. I think it's Armachan.
Yeah.
So you get in a helicopter and you fly there. And then you go through the building, and a lot of stuff happens in this building.
Yeah, a bunch of stupid shit.
Now, I do like when you're in this section because this is when you use a lot of the flashlight. And I like this spooky area where you only have flashlight. Like, it depletes as you use it, and then you have to shut it off and be in darkness until it recharges.
Was this the first game to do that?
That's a great question. I think one of the Silent Hills did it.
Oh, okay.
There's something you had to pick up batteries for your...
Outlast?
I don't remember. No.
Outlast had the camera.
An old game that we did already.
Oh.
Had batteries that you needed to pick up or else you're...
Silent Hill, probably.
I don't remember. One of them. Yeah.
That sounds right. We've done like 20 episodes now. Who can remember all of them?
Yeah, seriously. Now, is this one of those like shake lights? Like...
Yeah,
that's what
I think. You just shake it a little.
You have to shake it a little bit and just...
There was that one game that did that where you had to shake your controller to recharge the light.
Oh, God, that's horrible.
Oh, shit. What was that?
Oh, I don't remember.
Well, I'll look it up. You
So
you move us forward.
You are walking through the building and you're listening to various voicemails and stuff, and they talk about some classified government programs where, like Project Icarus and Project Perseus, where they were doing things up in Auburn Hills.
Yes.
Right.
I don't know if they refer to the Origins Project yet or not, but they talk about all the contamination was there. It started out as a project for studying effects of microgravity on people or something crazy like that. I don't remember.
Yeah, do some crazy fucking Area 51 shit.
Yeah. And you're walking, and then you come across the guy I hate most in the game, the fat civilian.
What was his name? Norton?
I don't remember.
Oh, yeah, that fucking guy. Norton Mapes.
Yeah, he's certainly a Norton Mapes.
What a fucking piece of garbage.
Yeah. The first time I saw him, I was like, oh.
As someone who is an IT professional, this is like the stereotype, I run all the computer systems, so I'm God type character.
Yeah, but he's like, I need you to shut down the security systems.
Why do you need it? I ain't telling you. That's fucking these are Black Ops guys.
Why are you doing this shit for him?
I don't know. I don't know that at all. Because he's supposed to try and help you get through things, I guess.
Like, give him a mic and then never talk to him.
You have to reboot the server so I can get into that.
Yeah, the fucking voice on this guy. But yeah, first of all, how did he survive and everybody else is dead?
I don't know.
Because he's getting paid to be there after hours to steal stuff, is what I figured.
Yeah, maybe. But he also starts the trend in this of random civilians getting away from black ops teams for extended periods of time and surviving.
Yeah, he just disappears and no one knows where he is.
Yeah.
Like, where'd he go? I don't know, man.
I mean, he's not the mission.
But still.
You know? No, you do have a point.
And how many?
It's like this guy just opened up the security system. We might need him again. We don't know what's in this facility.
Yeah.
Let's just let him fucking walk off and go in other elevators when he feels like it.
Yeah, and give him some comms. And like, how many fucking headsets are you walking around with that you can just give them to everybody you fucking run into?
I thought about that. You gave out. I know for sure you gave out 2, but I think it's.
I think it's 3. Yeah.
Okay. It's like give him a comms unit. It's like, okay, here you go.
He's got a backpack full of them.
Yeah. I'm the comms unit guy. Yeah. That's why they call me Point Man.
It's like, all right, I can take my first aid kit or 9 comms units.
We'll never know when we find civilians in the tower we have to talk to.
Yeah. Yeah, and he never talked to him anyway.
No. Because he just stops answering. But as you're walking for the server, Fattel says shit to you, and it keeps going on for a while. And you get to where the Delta Force was, and you see that they're all basically just blood and bones.
Is this that moment where you finally open the door and Jin comes in and she's like, holy crap, look at all this dead bodies.
Yeah,
you go ahead and go on. We're going to sit here and analyze it.
Yeah. Yeah, that was great.
Oh, okay. It's like, huh, that's neat.
Yeah.
You keep going.
Yeah, you do all the hard stuff. We're just going to do some science back here. It's fine.
Hey,
It's fine.
if you find any more civilians, get their useful information and let them go.
Yeah, and then what? Oh, look at, you do find another civilian.
Yeah, who's got a bomb strapped to himself for some reason.
Yeah.
Yes. Who did we run into? What's his name? Aldous Bishop.
Oh, okay, yes.
He does come back, and then this is the time where you escort Holiday to the bomb.
Yeah, and when you fucking go to pick up the demo experts, when you get to them, they're like, how we get in there? And they blow a fucking hole in the wall
Yeah, I thought that too.
with the same bombs that are strapped to this guy. Did you notice that?
Yeah, that was pretty great. It's like, how are we going to get in there? I'll make a door. He says some shit like that.
But you got there.
Yeah,
Without
like you walked there from the guy. It's not like you were.
Well, I think that our bomb disposal experts should be the people that just love blowing shit up for no reason.
You're right. You're
Isn't
right.
that the way
well,
you want to do?
no, because you don't want your bomb disposal experts to blow anything up.
True.
You're right. That would be the opposite of their job, huh?
Yeah.
You're making so many good points today, Syintist. You're fucking on it, man.
But again, you walk around some more and random messages about Auburn Hills contamination, and you see Alma again. Well, the little girl.
Oh, yeah. Then the fire alarm's going. And
Yeah.
like, hey, you, turn the fire alarm off. What the fuck? What does that matter at this point?
Yeah, really. We're fighting a whole bunch of soldiers.
Because it locked
Oh,
the
that's right, yeah,
elevators. That's right.
Oh, okay.
But you do hear things about Project Perseus where they were trying to have one guy telepathically control a bunch of soldiers. He was trained for it. And I don't remember exactly how, but you find out he's looking for Alice Wade, and she's in the building somewhere. And that's when you have to get the elevators open and stuff.
I think Bishop tells you, doesn't he?
Maybe.
Now, honest question. What is the benefit to this project? Is it so ultimately the person who can telepathically control armies can just do that with the enemy and just have them like shoot each other?
I think it's because you're sending what they
Pretty much brainless automatons to just go do your bidding.
because you're not really putting anybody at risk.
You're controlling those guys who are just fucking trying to kill you.
It's sort of like drones, but
Yeah.
they're people.
Now, what is the deal with the clones?
That's what we're...
Did they really get into that? Were they actual humans or were they
They
Grown in a
call them
lab?
clones. So
I assume they were humans.
right?
Because they don't do anything unless Fatela's controlling them.
Yeah. Like if Fattel doesn't control them, they just stand there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Okay. So we'll assume they're like
Puppets.
Yeah.
puppets grown in a lab type thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why you're okay shooting them all.
Yeah.
I'll buy that. Sure. Is this where you run into our boy Norton again?
Yes.
Awesome.
This is after the helicopter flies off without you, though.
Yeah. But you start looking for Alice Wade, and then he might be the one that tells you have to get to the turn the fire alarms off so you can get the elevators to get up there.
Yeah. And then you get up there and it's like, oh, God, we're under fire. Take off.
Yeah, I just wanted to bring it up because I didn't want to miss the fact that he bails on you again. he locks himself in the security room, opens the lets the guys into the elevator to kill you. He's like, well, later, and then just leaves.
I do have that. You get in the elevator and then you fight the robot security boss.
Doesn't he like turn turrets on you that pop down from the ceiling? And
yeah.
What a fucking piece of garbage.
It's amazing that he knew that much.
Right? He's in it to win it, man. He's not in it to like play fair.
Oh, and this is where you hear that Fettel was the number 2 offspring of the origin.
Yeah, you learn a lot about it during things they talk about in here.
During voicemails and the fucking shit you
download. Like who'd leave those voicemails of like high classified information?
It's like the same person on everybody's phone, just giving info.
Well, see, this is the thing with like these codecs or voicemails or whatever, like the audio logs, I guess we'll just call them in every game. I love when they're in the game and they expand on the world, like how Dead Space did.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, if you want to listen to them, it's going to fill in some pretty cool backstory, but you don't have to.
Like Mass Effect too, like those games, yeah.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. But in this game, there's a lot of really fucking important information coming from those voicemails.
Pretty much the whole story is told by voicemail.
Yeah, almost all of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, here's a bunch of crazy shit happening. Do you want to know what's going on? You're like, yeah, obviously I want to know what's going on. I don't want to be in the dark the whole fucking game. Well, you listen to the voicemails.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, you're fucked. Go read the wiki.
And you learn that the Project Origin was shut down after a synchronicity event, which they don't explain at that moment. And that, I can't think of her name, Genevieve something. I didn't write the last name down. She wanted to restart the Origins project. And then they lost contact after they restarted. You learn that little bit from in between this moment. And eventually you...
Yes.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say Genevieve Aristide, who is the president of Armachan. She's a big a component of the series, but she goes unseen in this game. So she's only in voicemails or other people speak of her.
And eventually you get to Alice Wade, who is another person you give a comm to.
Where was she, just sitting there?
Yeah, she was in her dad's office. She tried to get there. You like eventually fight your way up to there.
Was she like she lock herself in there or something?
I think so, yeah. And she's like, I got to find my dad. I was like, well, let's get to the roof. I don't want to fly in a helicopter. I'm going to run away and get in a car.
Well, yeah, because you get to the roof, the helicopter gets exploded.
Which I think is helicopter number 2.
I think so.
Exploded?
Yes.
Yeah.
What, while you're trying to... So the same scenario you just had.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay. That's good.
And then she's like, fuck that.
Fuck that. I'm going to run all the way down to the ground floor and get in a car.
But like, see, here's the thing that is just lazy. You're at the docks, right? Like they could have done this exact same thing, but with a boat. Like, we got to get to the boat to get out of here. Oh, they blew up the boat. Fuck, now they got a helicopter. At least it's some diversity, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, that's true.
But I don't
It could be
understand
the
it.
same animation for all I know.
Like,
but
there's like special forces and stuff around this whole building, and then she drives a car away and doesn't get stopped. We got to save her. Or she just drove away. Oh.
They're not even after her, apparently.
Well, you know that
Wasn't Fattel, though?
Fattel's looking for her.
Yeah.
and he just lets her roll out,
Yeah.
or doesn't. Maybe Fattel isn't as good at the big picture stuff as we think.
Could be. He is a crazy cannibal.
Yeah, who would have thought they weren't the best planners? Insane telepathic cannibals.
But eventually you get to another helicopter,
Yeah.
which is going to take you to a compound where they think Alice went to find her dad.
Yeah, this part was so annoying. It's like, get to the roof, the helicopter. Oh, get to the floor. Oh, she drove away. Get back to the roof.
Yep. I did like the sequence though when you were riding the elevators with her, and every floor they opened up and you had to fight people.
I did like that. That was kind of
That
funny.
was pretty cool. It's like, oh my God, they're hitting the call button.
My nemesis.
There was that also creepy sequence where you have to go into the security booth to like unlock doors or do some kind of security bullshit.
Yeah.
And you look through the glass and you see the elevator close with Alice in it, and you see Alma like walking up behind her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when you get to the roof, she says, I don't know how I got here.
Yeah. She's like, I just lost time. You were there.
Which, pretty sure they don't explain any of this.
No, they don't at all.
Oh, I did. How do you slow down time?
They say that in the beginning. He's got great reflexes.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay. But why is it limited then?
Hey, your reflexes don't work all the time.
True.
But anyway, you start flying away to this compound, and guess what? Guess what?
Your helicopter gets shot down.
Yep, that's number 3.
Oh, wow. All right.
And somehow you survive, the pilot dies, and the other 2 break their legs or something. I don't know exactly what happens there. Or they get injured.
Yeah, she gets injured, and he's just like, I'll watch her.
Yeah.
You go.
And he says a lot of creepy, misogynistic things to her.
Yeah.
Do you have any of those quotes ready? Loaded up?
No,
for us?
I didn't, because I didn't want to write them down.
I got the one. It's the one quote I got in this game.
What was it? I forget. What
He's like, yeah, I love kimchi. She's like, I like pizza. He's like, yeah, pizza's still good too. And then he looks at you and he's like, you still there?
So it's racist and misogynistic.
It was not a very well-written conversation, no. But, man, okay. So is this when you finally leave the facility?
Yeah, you start heading to the compound where you think Alice went to find her father. Alice went to find her father, and you're trying to get Alice. And you have to go on foot because your helicopter was shot down. Why don't you just wait for another one to take you there?
Because they're getting low on helicopters.
Fair point.
I love how you hear it on the news, on the radio.
Yeah.
Another helicopter shot down.
And then I have you just walk around the compound. You see a lot of weird stuff.
And you find out all this information
Yep, you can start.
about Alma and how she was kept in a coma and they induced labor,
Gave birth to prototypes, what they call them, genetic prototypes.
genetic psychics or whatever.
Yeah.
She was only 15 when she first gave birth.
Well, they wanted to when she was 7, but they put her in a coma and waited.
Yeah, that's creepy as fuck.
Yeah. This is Harlan, Alice's dad, who was doing all this experimentation for this project.
yeah. He
Project Origins. Yeah.
He's the man behind Project Origins.
It's pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
What can I say? Well, and if you think that's fucked up, wait till we get to Fear 3. Oh, buddy.
Can't wait.
It's what you're thinking in your head, like, how could that be worse? It's worse.
Well, there's already
It's
coma
clearly
rape,
worse.
so it's not like
Yeah, coma rape of a
yeah,
child.
Yeah.
Interesting.
No, it gets worse.
I can't wait.
All right,
Let's just leave it
we'll
at that.
save it. We'll save it. But where do you go from here?
Where's he? You find a fat guy
See
again.
Norton again.
Yeah. Somehow he got here from the building.
Yeah. You took a helicopter. How the fuck did he get there?
He must have been hiding in the car with Alice or something. I don't know.
He's just dangling from the helicopter.
Like,
I'll show them.
I need to work the security from there. This fucking guy.
That was your perfect Bentley voice from Sly Cooper there.
Yeah, right.
Oh, thanks. Oh. I'm trying to think of some good Bentley lines. So many, too, and I can't remember any.
You need an IQ of at least 130.
You'd have to run at least 190 to get over that.
But this is where we see Fat Fuck get shot in the chest.
Yeah, by Harlan.
Felt so good to see that.
It did, but at the same time, he's on the floor bleeding out for like 3 hours. Like you come back to him like twice.
I'm pretty
still
sure he
bleeding out.
survives that shot.
He does, because he talks to you a
Yeah.
couple of times. He says,
At least twice.
he says, don't let him let Alma out of there. You got to stop him from opening the vault. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, he tells you how to get in the vault. He's like, you got to cycle the power to open the door. And then when you get back from cycling the power, he's still laying there.
Well, he's outside the vault you need to get into.
Yeah.
So he's like, I know you just made it all your way to this vault, but now you got to go all the fucking way back there and reroute the power. And then when you go through the vault, you see him again. And he's like, hey, what's up? I'm still bleeding out. How are you?
Hey, by the way, blow this fucking place to the ground.
Oh, good times.
But as you go to cycle the power and such, Fattel also does some mind stuff to you and starts saying, like, don't you know why you're here? And blah, blah, blah. We were both born from the same mother. And then you come across Alice dead and him dead. I think you shoot him.
You kill Fattel.
Yeah, which was a very anticlimactic.
But
end
she
to
was
this.
on the ground.
Yeah, she's dead already.
I wanted to know, because you stumble upon that right after you're shooting up your hallucinations or the haunted house.
maybe.
Like, do you kill her by accident?
I assumed Fattel did.
All right.
It's super confusing because you're in that weird, like, fire world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they are coming through to the real world through what looks like the fire world. It's very
I didn't know if it was actually like another shit world or if it was
I thought it was just them fucking with their head.
hallucination.
I think we're definitely in a shit world situation,
Yeah.
but at least in Point Man's head.
Yeah, but he's still shooting then, right?
Yeah.
In real life. So like someone could be watching him. He's like, the hell's this guy doing? He's just like spinning around shooting shit. Nothing around him.
But they sent him off by himself, so he doesn't have to worry about looking.
Oh,
bad.
yeah. It's like, he won't look like an idiot.
That's what it is. It's not he has to do everything himself. It's, dude, send this guy on his own because he's going to shoot somebody. Just fucking, we'll take care of shit. Send him to the docks. I don't know.
That makes
Send
a
him to
lot
the
more
docks.
sense now.
Doesn't it? Good old shit world references.
But eventually you do cycle the power and you get back to the door where you see the fat guy bleeding out still. And you head on down to, I guess it's the vault inside the vault. Well, yeah, you go inside the vault and then you get to another part where Harlan's there and he's like in front of another vault door.
Just open.
And he said, well, she died 6 days after we pulled the trigger from her coma, blah, blah, blah. The things are still happening.
And then he opens the door to let her out.
He opens the door and she does come out, yeah.
How'd she die?
I don't know. She's kind of like a spirit, I guess, inside someone's head.
But he definitely opened the door and let her out.
Yeah.
Yeah, this gets very confusing. Because I don't understand if Alma's a physical person or at this point if she's just a ghost or if she's both or I don't know what the fuck the deal is.
Oh, maybe the ghost was in there.
Agglomeration of psychic energy or something.
Yeah, she's like goo from Ghostbusters 2.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Well, he lets her out, and then some weird stuff happens.
And then the facility blows the fuck up.
Yeah, because you solve all problems by blowing reactors.
Yeah.
Which I don't. Does that science work out, Syintist? Because you see the reactor in this game is like 2 pillars, and in between that's a bunch of fucking electricity. Like that doesn't seem.
No, I don't know what they were doing in
Correct.
Project Origins. Maybe it's something special.
Yeah, they got some crazy shit going on with psychic energy that's holding that electricity in place.
But blowing reactors always seems to be the way to fix these things. So,
Good point.
but you also have to blow the reactor and then escape to the helicopter.
Didn't we blow a reactor in Matt Hazard?
We blow a reactor in a lot of games. I
Yeah,
think
we've
we did
blown
it.
so many
I
reactors.
think in Siphon Filter, maybe Dino Crisis.
Definitely blue reactor, not.
Well, there's definitely a security office in that.
And Singularity, we blew a reactor.
Okay, you made your point.
There's probably more, but I can't remember every game we did.
Oh, yeah. This is where the facility blows up and it's like slowly pushing you away.
Yeah, and you kind of see like weird things with Alma the whole time.
Yeah. So weird. And then your team lands on a helicopter and is like, oh, fuck, there you are.
Yeah. Oh, and they get on. It's,
Oh,
we couldn't get a hold of you. Our comms aren't working. Oh, blah, 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 blah.
oh, well, you survived. Yay.
Yeah. And you see the explosion going off in the background.
And she's like, oh, but I wonder what happened to Alma.
Then boom, she's on the helicopter.
Bum,
Game's
bum,
over.
bum.
Now, did they ever find Janikowski? Like, was he dead somewhere, I think?
I don't think you ever hear about him again.
You do hear about him again.
Oh, do you?
When they tell you, we found all the bodies of everybody else. We haven't found John Nikowski. Don't worry about it. He might show up wandering up and down the docks, is what they say.
Yeah, it's a little weird for a
Weird.
Black Ops.
They say
thing.
like he probably hit his head and got amnesia. He'll be wandering.
It happens to him all the
Yeah,
time.
Like that's what they talk.
He really shouldn't be on the squad, but
While in the same situation where bodies are getting exploded and liquefied and laying on the ground like Janikowski probably just hit his head and wandered off. Like, yeah, it's like, what? This is the shittiest detective work I've ever seen.
It's what he says.
Special ops.
well, they're an assault recon team, whatever that means.
They just murder, I guess, and look at them murdering. I don't.
Yeah.
What's recon about it?
I don't know. It's a first encounter, so I guess that's some recon.
Now, did they mean first encounter, as in if there's some crazy, like
For
if there's a hostile situation, they're like the first people in, or does first encounter result like some supernatural element to it?
I took it as a supernatural kind of team, but who knows?
yeah,
Because they don't seem phased by much of what they're talking about.
yeah. They're like, this shit's. Well, you come to find that they all do know about it,
Yeah.
right? Because we're at the end of the game.
You're not shocked that he's telepathically controlling soldiers.
Yeah, because they're like at the end of the game, they say, "Oh, it looks like Origin number 1 worked. It's working perfectly, or whatever."
Yeah, that the senator or something.
Because that was you.
Yeah, because you're
Origin
Patel's
number
brother.
one.
Yeah.
But I mean, I get how Paxton Patel, his whole deal was he can telepathically control soldiers. What is your equivalent? Being able to react quickly?
I think so. Like that's your superpower. That's a real.
That's the whole test. That's why they were like, let him go alone.
Yeah, maybe.
So we can test him.
Maybe that's what they were doing.
It makes more sense than just having a whole team show up to the site and being like, "Nah, you got this."
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think that's why, like, his whole team knew about it. Maybe Janikowski was just a plant. Maybe he's fine. They just gave him
they just
a
needed
reason
to
to
go
keep
searching
going.
for him.
Yeah.
Interesting. Like he's like sitting at home, just sitting this one out.
Yeah.
Like you gotta
like,
find
yo-
Janikowski. It's like, dude, I got off like work like 7 hours ago. Like I'm just
Like, he did.
Did anybody
his
try his
job.
cell phone? Don't call a cell phone. Don't call a cell phone.
No.
That's an interesting theory. I mean, maybe we should write the fanfic for this.
Well, I'm pretty sure that's what it was all about. The whole thing was just a test.
Test for him.
Yeah, to see if
But why
Origins number 1 worked.
Why would they let Alma out? See if there'd be another synchronicity event?
Because Alma's never really there. That's all in your head.
Is she only in my head?
I think so. Because you have a psychic link with her. Because she's your mother.
Even okay, if that is the case and Alma isn't really there and she's all in your head, I'll buy that. But something crazy's happening because you constantly see doors slam or shit fly across the room, or
Yeah.
like there's a real world element to this. Maybe it's the
Is there?
psychic power.
Well, I mean, someone's
It is
killing-
all from your point of view.
Someone's killing soldiers and liquefying their bodies. And I'm pretty sure it's not you.
Maybe it is you. And that's what they tested.
Hey.
If you're
They're like, I don't know, he's liquefying him. Not like he should, but hey,
he's only liquefying at a 75% clip.
it works.
Let's run a diagnostic on the liquefying feature. Let's see what happens. These two assholes are just standing by the gate. They made him go unlock it by himself. Fuck him. But if that's the case, that it was all a test, then a lot of people died. Well, a lot more clones died, but a lot of
well, they were
people-
just clones. They were built just for the
Well,
test.
a lot of soldiers died too. A whole Delta squadron got.
Oh yeah, and the guards for
Yeah. I'm sure there's
ATC.
random civilians that died in that building too.
yeah. I'm sure if the helicopter crashed, it might
Yeah.
have killed somebody on the way down.
At least 3 people.
Oh yeah,
At least
Pilot's
3
dead.
pilots
Yeah.
are gone, yeah. Man, we should try to figure out the body count for this game. It's got to be in the hundreds, right?
Well,
If-
do we
if
count
you
clones?
Obviously, clones are not people, so maybe 40, 50-ish?
yeah. But later in the game, you get to like real people, like security forces and shit, right?
I think you only ever fight Fatel's clones.
Uh,
And then after you kill him, you don't fight anybody, I don't think. Because the
yeah,
clones
you,
aren't doing
you
anything.
kill those 3 clones that are just standing there. Because
Yeah.
once you kill him, they just
Stop.
stand there with their heads down, like, ugh.
Right. So we didn't talk about the final sequence. What happens last scene
When they're on the
when they're on the
Helicopter?
chopper? Yeah.
flying away, and they say like, "Oh, I wonder what happened to Alma,"
She like grabs on the plane.
and the power goes out or something.
I thought that was an interesting little sizzle for the end.
Yeah.
It's like, wonder what happened to Alma, and the hand just comes up. It's like,
yeah.
oh,
So
shit.
what happens? Do they go over that in Fear 2?
Guess we'll find out at some point.
Yeah, I guess so. Cliffhanger.
And then we have our post-credit scene, which I didn't see, I don't think. I just read about it.
It's just a voicemail, I think.
Yeah. Or a phone conversation.
Senator and Genevieve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They say the project is under control, and the first prototype,
Was a success.
Point Man, was a success.
Yeah. Which brings me to why this seemed like a whole test from higher ups from
Yeah, from
Genevieve.
Genevieve and the senator.
Yeah. So that's it, guys. We just got through the whole story. Do you guys feel like better people now that that's over?
I do a
I
little
do.
bit.
I clicked my pen once. I kind of feel bad about that.
Yeah. Well, we have to record the whole fucking thing over again.
Well, let's go to takeaways. Do you guys have any topics you want to discuss? Like how'd you feel watching this cutscene movie? Did it work for you? Did it suck? Let's start with you, Syintist.
It kind of sucked because you just had to listen to voicemails while he stood there and did nothing. It wasn't like a cutscene.
Yeah, there's barely any cutscenes in it.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, it's not bad. It sucks when you're trying. It's great when you're playing it because you can ignore things you don't want to, and you could get at your leisure. But when you're trying to learn the story, it sucks because it's kind of boring.
Right. I feel like watching the cutscene movie versus actually playing the game, it's a completely different experience. Like, when you're playing it, it's a horror game and shit jumps out from you every second, or like doors close, or you hear like a battle up like right above you, and then you finally get to that room and there's nothing there at all. It's just weird stuff playing with your head, which I love about it. I love that about 2 and 3 for sure. I assume this was more of the same. I didn't play it, but conceptually,
Yeah.
So now here's a question for you, which I like to ask once in a while. Who is the bad guy in this situation?
Well, I mean, Fattel's the one killing civilians and
Is he?
regular soldiers.
Because he lets, what's her name, go. He lets Alice go.
He
And
kills Alice.
he let Norton go. They both get
I think
out
Norton was
without getting
slyly
killed.
avoiding him the whole time.
That fat fuck slyly avoided anything.
But Alice ends up dying, and he killed her, as far as I think. But
Oh, yeah, true.
I mean, Alma is supposed to be the bad guy, but is she really? Like,
She's letting revenge get the best of her.
and if we learned anything from Sly Cooper, we know revenge doesn't work unless you're Sly Cooper.
no, absolutely not. We gotta get to the heat shield. Yeah, I mean, it feels like Alma's just was a child in a shitty, traumatic situation, is just lashing out the only way she knows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fattel, I don't know what his backstory is, but he eats people, so I don't think he's a good guy.
Well, Harlan Wade's a fucking piece of shit.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, he's a big piece of shit.
I'm assuming Genevieve isn't much better.
No. And the senator.
Well, senators,
Don't get
what I
me
assume a
started.
senator is, but
Yeah.
These fucking
I assume senators eat people all the time.
Yeah. I've heard of Bohemian Grove.
All right. Well, let's nail some quotes down here, and then we'll get to our final thoughts. I have one from the exact same sequence you had, where what was his name? Holiday was talking to Jin, and he goes, "Just let me know if you need a little mouth to mouth," which is pretty, again, part of the sexist there. But there's also the Janikowski one in the beginning is, "You got to be fucking kidding me. This is why no one takes us seriously. Military clones?" And he's so confused by the whole thing happening.
See, that's why I think he just went home. He's like, fuck this. I'm done.
like,
Military
I'm not doing
clones,
this.
really? You got to run around and have them follow you around. I really have to be here to do that.
And
Come on,
the other
guys.
good Fattel quote is, "What's the first thing you remember?" He says that like 5 or 6 times during the
Yeah,
game.
he
It's
says
like his
that.
catchphrase.
He says a lot of things, too, like,
You were born here.
yeah, you were born here. You know why you're here. I'll find her.
Which is like, I think it's very self-righteous and naive. Because
Well, he's
Point Man's
trying to
like,
find
dude,
his
what
mom.
the... Right, but Point Man, he's telling you to your brother, Point Man, and you're like, dude, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, can you fill in any details here? I understand you have the full picture of what's happening. Maybe, share a little bit instead of saying these cryptic platitudes?
Yeah, it's true. True.
Maybe it's Fattel and his mom trying to get Point Man there to get him into the... Because didn't Fattel learn it all through the synchronicity event?
What was the synchronicity event?
Where she kind of like psychically got bonded with him or something? They don't really go into explaining.
Oh, when he went crazy and killed a bunch of people.
Yeah, the first time.
Yeah.
Before he got locked away.
Yeah.
But the last quote I have is, I forget who says it. It is the way of men to make monsters, and it is the nature of monsters to destroy their makers.
That was Harlan.
That was
Wade.
Harlan, yeah. That's the only quote I had. But
Yeah.
Well, that's appropriate. Then
it's a
I
very
guess that he
Dr.
fucking dies.
Frankenstein kind of thing to do.
Yeah, right. Well, it's like men to lock up little girls and rape them. And it's just like little girls who've been raped that want to
C'est
kill
la
us.
vie.
Everybody wants to kill their father. C'est la
Jeez.
vie.
All right, let's get this episode's running long, so let's get into the final thoughts. Let's start with you, Dr. Syintist. Final thoughts. Would you play it? Would you score it? Did the story work for you?
I'm not a big fan of horror or first-person shooters, but it didn't look like a bad game, and the story was somewhat interesting, although unresolved at the end.
Yeah.
It was. I mean, that's kind of. I wish there was more explanation of exactly what happened, because without going to the wiki, I wouldn't have really known exactly what these projects were, because they kind of like jump around in explanations between them. But I'll give it, let's say, 12 stars.
Whoa, that's pretty good for you.
Yeah. Not as good as Remember Me, but pretty
Okay.
good.
Okay. Well, what,
I was intrigued the entire time.
Yeah, it was interesting.
Yeah, I think once you watch the cutscene movie and get into the wiki and we talk through some stuff, like, it's a good story overall.
Yeah.
But it loses some points for me because as you're playing it, like, you have to piece this shit together. And if you miss a couple voicemails, you're like, wait, what the fuck's happening? What is this synchronicity event they're talking about?
That could make games all right, because like all the Dark Souls games are like that, where they don't tell you anything. But if you want to find it, you can, and it's much more interesting when you do.
Yeah, but this wasn't even that. It's just when you see a red light, click the fucking thing.
But you could skip it if you wanted to.
Yeah.
You could. It just seems like a little too much left up to the user.
Yeah, it's understandable.
I want to say they did this the same for Fear 2. I honestly don't remember because it's been a long time since I played it. But it would make a lot of sense if I don't remember any of the story because I skipped all those voicemails.
Yeah, exactly.
There was probably a trophy for getting them all, and you got them all.
Yeah, you didn't
Doesn't mean I listened to them. I hit the button. While I'm talking, I guess I think I would play it if I really wanted to get into a first-person shooter, especially with horror elements, because there aren't many of them.
Yeah, if it was free and I was like sick of playing like an RPG, I'd be like, I'll play a first-person shooter for 8 hours.
Yeah, it's 8 hours, 10 hours max. Why not give it a shot? But what would I score it? I think it set up a very disturbing next 2 games.
Okay.
So if I'm gonna take it as, I'm not gonna give it as much of a hit because it's more of a world building game. Like, this is the starting point.
Yeah.
And we're gonna jump off a bigger story from here. So I'm gonna give it a 15 out of 27.
Oh
shit.
Nice. All right.
All right. Well, I have a question about what kind of guns were we using? Were they electric or?
They were fear guns.
They were weird. They had weird.
Yeah, they had like real life based rifles and pistols and stuff, and then they had like energy weapons, which I think you got when you got to the facility. They were like what the
like
clone soldiers were
and
using.
shit.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that was weird. I didn't like the way that electricity looked, like scribbles.
Okay.
That was kind of weird too. I didn't like that. I liked the story. It was neat. It was interesting. Kept me watching. I wouldn't play it. There's no way. Just because it's boring as shit. I mean, I'll listen to a book on tape of it.
Now, have you ever played any of the Fear games?
No, I haven't.
Honestly, I think it's a way better experience playing it. Just because of all the weird shit happening around you can't explain. It's like a first-person shooter like Call of Duty with just a little bit extra in there. Which, at the time, when they were all the first-person shooters were exactly the same, it was a breath of fresh air.
Yeah, I could see that. But as for rating, I still only gave it a 9.
Oh.
That's 36 out of
81.
81.
Which, obviously, as everybody knows, our rating system is based out of 27 stars per person. Obviously.
Why wouldn't it be?
So this one gets a 36. I don't know where it puts us. It'd be nice to have all the stats of what we gave all these episodes. And
Yeah, we should go back at one point and do it for all the games.
One of these days.
Whenever you come back home, we'll sit around and figure it out.
Okay. Sounds good.
Couple
We'll just listen to the last, 10 minutes of every episode.
Yeah.
Figure it out. All right, well, anything else we want to say about this game?
No, I think we're good.
No, I think we covered it all.
Yeah.
I think, what would you do in this situation if you were point man there, Chump Slap? Would you be a badass or shit your pants? No, okay, sorry. I put you...
Can I do both?
Yeah, I
Yes.
was going to say.
You're not playing as point man. You don't have the same abilities. I just dumped you in this situation and gave you a rifle and said, have at it.
Am I seeing crazy shit? Am I hallucinating?
Absolutely.
I'd probably fucking sit in a corner and be like, I can't do this, man. I probably would shit myself, to be honest. Yes.
Fair answer. What about you, Syintist?
Man, if I started seeing shit like that,
Yeah.
I'd be out of there in a heartbeat.
You'd shit yourself.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't shit myself, but
Yeah,
I'd definitely walk away.
would. I know you.
I'm proud to say, as a grown man, I haven't shit myself yet,
Yet.
but I haven't seen ghosts.
Exactly.
And
God, I wish I could say that.
What would you do?
I'll be a badass.
Yeah,
Take
so-
them
No,
all.
I mean, my first initial reaction if I started seeing this crazy shit would be like, because you don't know you're going in to fight a fucking telepath. You just heard that there's
true.
a building under siege and you have to go deal with it, and it might be a little weird. So I'd be like, okay, someone gave me mushrooms.
Yeah,
I'm
I'd
very
probably.
confused. I'm just gonna embrace this craziness and go towards it, and then I'd be immediately dead. Probably, I probably would go past the shit myself section to insta death.
And then shit yourself.
Well, yeah, obviously.
Like South Park taught us, as you're dying, you just shit yourself massively.
Every time.
All right, well,
I just, for some reason, I was thinking of the Family Guy episode where Quagmire fakes his death to get out of the wedding. And they're like, I heard you evacuate your bowels when you die. And then Peter says again, I heard you evacuate your bowels when you die. And then he's like, oh my God, he did it. Anyway, you can cut that out.
never, absolutely not. But let's say someone was a huge fan of Family Guy and they wanted to talk to you, Chump Slap, specifically about Family Guy itself. Yes, I didn't screw up the names that time. I do realize Syintist gave us the Family Guy reference. But they know you're a fan now, Chump Slap. So if they wanted to send you an email and talk to you about Family Guy, where would they send that to?
You could send that right too. Oh, Plotty time. I almost said Chump Slap. Plotty time at gmail.com. That's PLOTTYTIME at gmail.com.
Perfect. And before we get to our final segments, which I totally didn't forget about before I mentioned that,
I just figured you'd rearrange them when you're editing.
Yeah, I knew this was coming.
Yeah.
where would they find us on the social media accounts there, Syintist?
At Plotty Time, at The Important Socials, Instagram and Twitter.
Absolutely.
And follow the Plotty Time Snapchat to get naked pictures of Poppascotch all the time.
I'm a little confused how Snapchat works, so it's a little possible one or two pictures are out there. I don't know. But
Well.
all right, let's go to our final segments then. Our favorite segment every week, Syintist's Lock of the Week. Nice. Every week we ask Syintist for a 100% guaranteed gambling bet, and he has not gotten a single one wrong since we started.
Not yet.
Amazingly. I don't understand it.
This week, Syintist, who do you got?
Well, we got some Rocky Mountain Dart Association action. In their spring championship game, take the Comfort Zone over Team Guts.
Ooh, Comfort Zone in the RMDA.
Exactly.
Where did you even find that?
I Googled Colorado Dart Leagues.
Okay. So,
And he did a lot of research.
I did.
He knows
Comfort
who's gonna
Zone's pretty
win.
good. They're not going to be. They're not going to be stopped.
are we going with the money line or just the overall win?
Just the overall win.
All right.
Okay, well, you heard it here first. Comfort Zone, Colorado Dart Leagues for the win. that takes that ridiculousness. Oh, don't forget also, you're gonna want to put everything on this because this is 100% guaranteed pick. So get all your stuff, sell it, get yourself some money, and then sell that money, and then put it all in this game.
Yes.
The lock.
It sure is.
And with that, we're going to take us to our final segment and our favorite segment of every week, Chump Slap's recommendation window. So every week we ask Chump Slap for a recommendation on usually whatever pops in my head as I'm looking around the room right now, trying to think of a topic. Chump Slap.
Oh, I'm still stalling for time. Just
Hold on, I was yawning.
let's take a piss break.
All right, Chump Slap, go ahead and give us a headphones recommendation. What's the new...
How did I know he was going to do that?
Because he probably looked at his headphones right before he said it.
I saw him hanging on the wall.
What's the new hotness in headphones these days?
The new hotness in headphones is M-Pals.
Ooh.
They're Bluetooth. You can have them wired if you want. They're fucking banging.
Hotness.
Ooh, that sizzles. And pow.
Okay, that does it for us. So we will talk. We'll talk to all you guys next week when we have another game. See you
Peace.
later.
Peace out. Sizzle.